Hello. Today I'm gonna make an unscheduled video just about something that is really passionate to me. It's a very important subject on astrology, and I'm going to try to stay calm and collected. I really figured that it's about time I make this video, considering it's very important to the astrology community. Not enough people are fighting against what I'm about to say. And when people do say stuff against it, it's not enough for me. Like, I need the people that are ignorantly arguing against the belief in astrology to know the trueness behind why we think astrology is real, and the fact that astrology is a discipline. It's an art. It's like a science. It has a very long, strong, powerful background with evidence, intelligent people backing it for thousands of years at the least. So, in our modern day scientific world, there is a system in place. In the past, the system was more solely religious. That is the system, that is how the world has been created. It's how things are built. Everything is set upon a religious background, a religious undertone. Within North America and the majority of the world, the religious undertone is Christianity, Judaism, Catholicism, which is a part of Christianity, and that whole Judeo-Christian background, belief system. That, in the Romantic and Renaissance period, slowly changed into a more scientific background. Now, when scientists and smart people of our past, like Galileo and Leonardo da Vinci, started looking at things in a different way, it created a following. This following disrupted the belief system in the church. So things kind of changed within that belief. True historians know that to truly understand how we see the world, we have to look at our past. It's extremely ignorant to think that the way that we believe and think now is the truth, and that there's no foundation to that other than the truth. This is ignorant, and I believe is the basis for why a lot of people it's the basis for the new method that people are disproving astrology. What I'm trying to get at here is that in religious ways, people have tried to disprove astrology based on, first of all, I want to say fear, which is what I believe a lot of religion is based on. Faith alone should have room for more beliefs, and truly spiritual and religious people should ultimately have an open enough mind to study different belief systems, compare the truth within them, and kind of have an open mind, like scientists or spiritual people are supposed to have, to be able to kind of differentiate the truth from what isn't true in your own mind, which I don't think a lot of people do based on what they believe in. I'm being very long-winded, but as for astrology and numerology, people have been making up really simple systems of beliefs that kind of try to discredit astrology. In the past, it has been, oh, astrology is not scientific. We can't find proof to show that someone's sun sign is gonna depict everything. I've heard people like 10 years ago tell me how, like, people can't be divided into 12 groups. Like, you're a Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn, we're not that much alike. Since I was 7 years old, I've been studying astrology. I know all about the sun sign, which is your ego and your life path, your moon sign, which is your emotions, your mind, how you react to different things, how you feel when you're comfortable, and your kind of inner core and your past life memories. Your rising sign is how you appear, your physical body, your beliefs, how you see the world, how the world sees you. So it's if you don't get into that, and if you just kind of pick up a newspaper and start reading a horoscope, which is what the general public believes, and it's slowly changing, thank God. But if you just kind of focus on that horoscope astrology, the cosmopolitan, what your day is gonna be like, based on 12 different things. First of all, that kind of astrology kind of oversimplifies what astrology actually is. Way oversimplifies. Like, this is something astrologers know. But the fact is, I want astrologers to go out and tell people this. I want them to bring their huge ass textbooks from astrology, the kind that I've had since I was like 8 years old. Bring them out to show people what astrology is really about. Like the hundreds of textbooks that I've had that go back thousands of years explaining what astrology is about. The mathematics and science. Yes, there are mathematic principles, and science, math is a science, the most fundamental science, and scientific principles behind astrology to show that these methods that people are using, it's like, to disprove astrology, it's because of clashing of religion and really old beliefs. And the thing is, astrology is a huge part of these religious beliefs in almost every major world religion. You can even go to China and the Chinese zodiac. Like, there are fundamental similarities between the Chinese zodiac and Western zodiac. And when the fact is, can I say something? Our modern science is so basic and simple. And the scientists out there put so much faith in science alone, thinking that we are so intelligent, which is such an oversimplification of the human mind, and kind of saying, oh, because what we believe is the most advanced technology can't prove astrology to be real or disprove it to not be, then we can't talk about it. That is saying that science is the whole world. Can I just say, like our scientific belief system within academia and scientific world is such a small portion of reality? People don't understand it. I don't know if it's because they're not an Aquarius rising like me, or if they're not an 11 life path. I don't know. I meet a lot of astrologers, but one thing that frustrates me is I can't speak about astrology to many people because of their inability or uninterest in what astrology is. But the fact is, once you get someone into astrology, they're like, what? This existed for the whole time I was alive, and thousands of years before, and no one told me. It's because you need to pick up an astrology book and start reading. It's not going to be just like, oh, you're born on this day. Okay, your sun sign is this. You have these traits. And then someone goes, that's not true, throws the astrology book down, moves upon with their life. That's the problem with astrology these days. Astrology used to be revered. But the point of this video is the new method of that people are using to disprove astrology, based on the 13th sign, which astrology has always known about. Thousands of years ago, people knew about Ophiuchus. And people did consider it. There was a point, actually a long, long, long time ago, ancient Romans and ancient Greeks knew about the precession of the equinox, some scientists that don't believe in astrology look at astrologers and think, "You're stupid. Don't you know the earth wobbles?" Yes, we know. Oh my god, it's in the most basic astrology books. Like, it's not in those stupid little, like, stupid ones that are, like, aimed at teenager girls, whatever, but it's in the actual astrologer books. Explaining that the earth has a wobble, and that every 23,000 years, I don't know, like a crazy whatever, every 2,000 years, the top of the earth is pointing towards one of the new 12 signs of the zodiac. So, right now, we are moving into something called the Age of Aquarius. I'm sure people that don't know about astrology know that term. And the fact is that the term Age of Aquarius is based on the Earth's wobble, which is a fundamental basic fact in science and astrology. Astrologers have known about this for a long time. Surprisingly, oh wow, so we know that the Earth is tilting, and Western astrologers do know that the sun was not covering the constellation necessarily of someone's sun sign when they were born. Therefore, a lot of people out there say they become an astronomer and realize, wait, the day I was born, the sun was not on top of the constellation of my sun sign. That's true. Because in fact, the basic astrology that we know today of the constellations is lined up with around 2,000 years ago, and right in between ancient Greece and ancient Rome, during the age of Aries. That is exactly the point where the stars and planets would have aligned with the constellations. But 2,000 years later, the Earth has wobbled a little bit, and they don't line up anymore. But even back then, we knew that the constellations didn't matter as much. Many people actually believe that in the Bible it explains that the stars are used as a map for human understanding. That's all it was back then. So the constellations now were a map that was supposed to be used 2,000 years ago. The fact is, we haven't updated that map, and we kept the constellations as they are. But I'm still a Capricorn. My mom is still an Aquarius on the cusp of Pisces. My dad is still a Sagittarius, like the first deacon of Sagittarius. My sister's still a Taurus. My cousins are still Scorpios. My fiancé is still a Leo, despite the fact that the sun was not on top of those constellations when they were born. And the 13th sign Ophiuchus, whatever, is very symbolic in astrology as well. It is the point in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And, for a fact, did you know that the point in between those two constellations of Scorpio and Sagittarius, where the Scorpion tail is pointing and the Sagittarius arrow is pointing, is the center of the galaxy? And it's not a coincidence. But the fact is, it doesn't line up with the signs nowadays. It's like, this is something that is online. People are basically saying, oh my god, like, you stupid astrologers don't know anything. There's like 13 constellations that actually go along the ecliptic, that go along the zodiacal belt. And did you know that, like, you're stupid, the sun doesn't line up with the constellations anymore? And here, people like me that have been studying astrology for almost 20 years, and I'm only 20, almost 26, but I've known about astrology since I was 5, because I picked up a book, and I thoroughly read things, because I am a methodical, practical, precautionary kind of person that actually does my research before spouting out information and assuming things you don't know about other people. And the fact is, I'm also the kind of person that may not be a Christian or a religious person anymore, but I've done my research. It's the same thing as going into church and saying, there's no real evidence that Jesus really lived. And that is debatable. like, it's ignorant. You need to do your research. If you're going to just not believe in a religion, I don't understand those people that don't actually go to church before they decide to not believe in something. Pick up a Bible. Pick up the Quran. Start to do your research. Really get to know people. Meet Christians. Meet Jehovah's Witnesses. Meet Catholics, Jews, Muslims, and everything. Like, you can get to know these kind of people. Decide for yourself. Do your own research. Like, that's all I have to say. Okay, bye.